it sounds as though we're going to have to dig out some heavier coats.
Yeah, soon, I guess, although the weather for a while looks really nice. I love these kind of cooler temperatures, but it really is going to be a blast of cold air coming sometime soon, right, Scott?
Colder air, and it's a potential. So I'm just grasping for straws here right now, basically.
Possibility.
Yes, exactly. The computers are showing that. And this is what you typically would get around the beginning of October. If you haven't had that cold front come through, say, the 3rd week of September, you start to get dew around the 7th and 8th of October, and we may be almost right on schedule for that. In the meantime, boy, the jet stream's been looking like a roller coaster here. High amplitude pattern when you have jet stream doing this. This is what we call that high amplitude pattern. A zonal pattern or zonal flow would be with the jet stream straight across. And since it divides warm air to the south and cold air to the north, you can have this interesting disparity across the nation. Remember how cool it's been back east? When cold air plunges in the east, it's just like squeezing one end of a tube of toothpaste. There has to be a reaction on the other side where it comes out the other side. So you got cool air coming down to the east. It sends the warmth right up into the west. And so that's the way it's been over the past 10 days at least, warmer than normal. In fact, most of the summer has certainly been this way. Here's what it's looking like with a bit of a pattern change. I think pattern is a little bit strong to say a change. We're going to get a blast of cool air. I still think the pattern will go back to milder temperatures after this. But here's what I see. A dip in that jet streams as the warmth starts to pull back into the east. That'll allow some much colder weather that's building in south central Canada to come blasting on down. Typically, this time of the year, it is not going to come blasting in like this. It will come in and follow just right along the continental divide. That's typical, and that's what I expect to happen. Potential for snow here with this cool weather in the Canadian Rockies, probably coming down towards Yellowstone and Montana and the higher elevations in Wyoming. We'll see with some of the first snows of the season. And if this does have the chance to shift a little to the west with the moisture, we could get snow in the central Idaho mountains. That's just a slim chance right now, but it is a chance. So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, that cool pool of air behind it, as it comes on in, could come right across south central Idaho as well, and it may drop high temperatures for the Treasure Valley into the lower to mid 60s as we head towards the middle part of next week. Now, if this modifies, it may just end up being we have temperatures near 70 for a high, and it's cool and breezy and not too bad. But this one looks like it could be cold enough that when the winds die down, we get that frost that comes in, and it may be one of those killing frosts. So keep that in mind. I will update you as we get to the week. In case Roland, you want to cover your tomato plants and keep them warm because you know they're going to ripen at some point. Maybe.
Yeah, sometime mid-November.
I wouldn't count on that.
In his greenhouse.
Thanks, Scott.
You bet.